majority of them will agree that they have to work with China. It's not a question anymore. The next question is about how to cooperate with China.
What about the Americans? Like, what do they come to Fair Plus for?
Most of them just come and have a look. Components company take 70%. 20 to 25 is the whole robot.
500 companies, 60,000 visitors. Fair Plus is the largest physical AI exhibition in Shenzhen. It covers the full stack, hardware, software, and the supply chain behind it. This year, the most number of international attendees come from the United States. Europeans and Southeast Asian came to buy hardware. Americans came to talk. Jasmine Bai runs the international side of Fair Plus. She sees who flies in and why. We'll find out what the world looks like from her seat. Hi, Jasmine. Thanks so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, thank you.
You run the international side of Fair Plus, the people who fly in, the people who speak. So can you walk me through how this job actually, what you actually do, and who are you trying to get into the building?
Yeah, a lot of people will ask me because if I'm in charge of exhibition, it only takes 3 days per year. What I'm doing the rest of the 300 days. Actually, it's a lot of work beforehand to put everyone come at the same time and communicate what for a specific topic. For example, for Fair Plus, we want to invite all the robotic related professors, investors, robot developers to come to Shenzhen during 3 days, and they can meet what the people they want to meet and talk with people they want to talk. So actually, my main job is go to study each market and try to find the key person and invite them to come to Shenzhen, and also let them to bring more people, more companies, or more friends to come together.
This year is the second year that you run Fair Plus. Yeah. How many exhibitors, how many visitors, and how many came outside of China?
Yeah. So last year was our first edition of Fair Plus. We have 210 companies because we only have 6 months preparation. So last year was majority from China side. So from last April to this April, we have whole year to do the international promotion. So our exhibitor number grew to more than 400. And for our visitor is 60,000 visitors come to Fair Plus, and among it, 3,000 are from international visitors.
Wow.
And they are from 100 countries.
Amazing.
Yeah. And very interesting is number one is from America. Not number one, it's like top 10 American, Germany, Singapore, Korean, also like Holland. All countries are very focused on robotic currently.
Yeah. So when you saw the final visitor breakdown, what's the most surprising thing for you?
Yeah, actually, it's what I told you. Americans visitors is really a lot because so far, actually, because Fair Plus is co-organized by Shenzhen Robotics Association and the Messe Stuttgart, and the Messe Stuttgart is a German company, so we have a very good resource in European side, and Shenzhen Robotics Association has a very good relationship in China about robot industry, and also Messe Stuttgart have a very good office in Southeast Asia. So actually you can know, actually American is somehow we are not very good at. So, but in robots and AI industry, actually American is very leading in this industry. So actually from very beginning, both of us said, okay, we, apart from using our own very good resource, we need to focus on American side to do promotion and try to figure out how to influence the industry. Also, we found it's a little bit hard because it's very far from China to fly here, and also the community is a little bit different, and also America had their own community to develop their own robot AI. And so actually we work very hard, but we don't know the results. So the result really surprised me that America is the number one country from our international visitor part.
Yeah.
So I also give us very confidence that in the future we can do more in this side and find out what's their interest and how can I help them to do.
You see where all these visitors come from, each of them. And when a European and Southeast Asian visitor come, what are they here for? And what about the Americans? Like, what do they come to Fair Plus for?
Actually, we know more about European Southeast Asia, and European companies, majority of them knows they need work with China for the supply chain. Actually, when we do international promotion for Fair Plus, we highlight more about hardware cooperation because it's non-sensitive part and everyone should use it. No matter you are doing robot or AI, you need some hardware, and it's no doubt that China is the best on manufacturing and production chain. Also for robot side, actually Shenzhen is very good at that. So everyone agree with the concept that they need to come to Shenzhen to find their partner for hardware side, and majority of Europeans very clear know they need supply chain partner here in Shenzhen. So that's the key reason they come. For Southeast Asia, more clear they want to some robot and bring back to like Malaysia, Thailand. They are very interested to have some robot back to their country and resell it. So it's very clear the both parts where the needs is. So actually we do a lot of various matchmaking or targeted events to bring both sides. We select the Chinese company who can help the European or who can work with European side and somehow work with Southeast Asia countries. So we organize some small events to help them to matchmaking, then they can go deeper to cooperate. But to be honest, for American side, so far we haven't find some like very specific things. Even we have a lot of visitors, I think most of them just come and have a look. But it's a good start. After they come and have a look, they understand the industry. I think they will come up with more ideas what they need to do.
Yeah. So it's more of a educational tour for some of these visitors,
Yes.
and they're still exploring the use case and how to work with the
Yes.
Shenzhen partners.
Yes.
You also mentioned that this year there are different pavilions and programs for different countries, and there wasn't an American program.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell me more about that. Like, what's the story behind? Was the American conversation just happening in a different level?
I think markets are different. Like what I said, Europeans and Southeast Thailand, they are more clear about their position in this industry, how they can work with China. Of course, some majority of the idea are from associations or our government partners or industry leaders from European or Southeast Asia. They think in this way and they lead the topic. Of course, not every company may follow, but majority agree with this concept, so they follow the group to come and they benefit from it. Of course, some of them also have different idea. I think American side, everyone have their own ideas so far. I also talk with the visitors and why they come. And so first time, for the ones who first come to China, they are super impressed by how it's working here because actually America also very good at robots, so they have their own supply chain, their own system to run it. Sometimes they don't have to go abroad. But when they come abroad, some idea come to their mind. Maybe some from investment side, also some hardware cooperation or co-develop. So
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to more detail because our show is just happened 1 month ago. So now we are still do internal review and communicate with some of the people who come to our show site and ask about their feedback and also what they want to do for next year.
Yeah. I remember you mentioned that Fair Plus, when you promote it internationally, you usually focus on the hardware side, but actually there's a whole other side of the brain and the intelligence. So tell me more about the full vision of Fair Plus.
Fair Plus actually is a platform designed for robot developer. So we welcome everyone who want to have their own robot or who already have their own robot. Because if they come, they can see all the components, all the OEM, ODM, service company, and also software, hardware suppliers. So they can talk with different parts to realize his targets to have his own robots and what this robot used for, because for different scenario, the robots need to be designed in different way. So actually the whole concept for Fair Plus is for robot developers. So actually it's a technical exchange platform, not for sale or for market branding. One is because so far like humanoid robots is so far not commercial yet. Even we see a lot of like Unitree, VTech, very famous, they also need to upgrade their product. It's not ready that it can be sold to everyone or can upgrade. Also, the other side is humanoid robots is still finding more scenario to be applied. So far, we think they can work in every area in the factory or in the home. but we still need to define how to use it and also lower the cost so more people can use it.
Yeah.
So FairPlus also help robots to lower their costs because there are so many suppliers. You can find out the best solution for your own robot. Then I really remember the association leader once said, when the price of robots be low enough, there are more people will use it. Then
Yeah.
the industry will grow.
Will grow a lot.
Yeah, so actually so far we are focusing on technology exchange. That's why actually FairPlus only have shell scheme. All the exhibitors are limited to 9 square meter or 18. So everyone is safe.
I see.
And no matter you are Unitree or UBTech or Siemens or Bosch, they all have very small booths. So
Interesting.
at beginning, they don't understand us, but later we persuade them to do in this way. So we mean to do it because normally a visitor come to a show, they will first go to the biggest booth.
Right.
We cannot change it because everyone is have the habit to go to the biggest booth. But in our show, we don't have that. Every booth is the same. So if you want to find your partner, you need to go to all the booths. So it's somehow more fair to everyone in this market.
Yeah.
Because actually, it's no top one or top two in this industry. And for the hands or robots, they are only who already doing it, but not the number one. So
For
this
sure.
industry have a lot of future. So we don't want to limit the visitors' idea about which brand is good. And also for the companies who come to our show, they don't need to prepare a lot about construction, decoration. No, you just come to talk about technique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So less marketing, more like the technical innovations that's
Yes.
happening and exchange and learn
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very different. So everyone come here with a different idea. They don't need to, I should be looks better than my competitor. No need. You just come to talk with others about your technique.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious when you see people that come for the brain side of the equation to FairPlus. Who are these people? Are they universities or who are the buyers? Like universities, or are they startups, or are they big corporates that are looking to innovate in-house?
Recently, I just last week learned a new word that is a researcher founder.
Oh,
And
okay.
founder researcher is actually a very famous word in this industry, especially in the data and brain side, AI or brain side,
Yeah.
because actually it's very the academy world and industry very connected. Because you need for the data set, you need a lot of research to find out how to control the robot and control each components and how it come from lab to the real world. So actually you can find a lot of startup founders. They are from very high level universities or research, or maybe they are professor their own.
Oh.
So actually this part, people are who are the new founders for this topic.
Okay. So actually you see a lot of these researchers from universities to come for the brain side
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
hardware side?
Brain side is
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
So because
But actually, all the brain company also need hardware.
Yeah,
So they
they need
also
both.
need to find partner
I
from
see.
hardware side.
Right.
So they need to work together. It's not only one people can do it.
Yeah.
They need partnership. So actually, FairPlus is best
Meant for that.
for them to find partners or find a solution for themselves.
got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's also why we also during FairPlus we have a lot of events. One event is we do together with Science and Robotics, the Academy Journal from America. You
Oh,
know
okay.
that Science
Science,
magazine.
yes, yeah.
Science and Robotics. We do a session together with them. Want to
Okay.
link the Academy side with the industry CTOs because from the research paper to a real company, there's a lot of steps need to go. Some researchers would like to go to industry or go to business, and some still doing their research, but they also need to know what the industry needs. Then they do the research in that way.
So I remember when we chatted on the phone earlier, you mentioned that, a lot of times people think about Shenzhen is that, we take a plane to Shenzhen, find a partner, and then get a supplier, right? And you mentioned that there's a company from Germany that actually set up their headquarters in Shenzhen.
yeah.
So tell me more about what you see in terms of the trend. Like, are more people doing that now, or is the former way still more popular?
Yeah, actually, it's a German company who do the robot hand. It's called Schunk. They also from Stuttgart. Their headquarters is from Stuttgart. We are very close with the company people, and it was last year when we start FairPlus. They said, oh, we also doing this, because before till now their main business is about supply the industry robots about the peak components. So actually this is their new business. And last year their global CTO come to China to talk about us, and also association to say that they want to build up a R&D center in Shenzhen about this department. Also, they are sending their German colleague from technical, like CTO or engineer to come to Shenzhen to lead this product, because they think Shenzhen is a good place. They can find their supplier, also good people for the research side, because Germany is a little bit behind the research or business in this now, because Germany is very good at industrial robots, but for humanoid robots they are a little bit late. That's why they come to China and they select to build up their R&D center here. I think more companies are considering it, because you need to be close to the industry and also close to the supply chain, so that you can know how to build up your own.
I'm curious, what do you see, given, for example, Germany, that has decades or even a century worth of industrial robotics or industrial manufacturing expertise, what is not transferable over to the robotics side, a humanoid side?
Ideally, in the future, there's everything can be transferred, because for robots, no matter humanoid robot or industrial robot, is help us do our humans things. But one thing I can realize is from especially Germany side, all the studies or the business is more focusing on humanoid robot application in the factories. Maybe upgrade the industry robot or use this robot to help the workers in factory. They more focus on this side. Even I read some research paper, or they say, okay, the humanoid robot no need to have two legs, because in the factory they don't need to walk, they can just move with
it's all flat.
And it's very interesting. I also talked with another speaker from American, and I shared the information. I heard from Germany side, they think the robot. Then the American speaker tell me that, if they don't have the they are not humanoid robot. Someone insists they should look at human, because the world is designed for human beings. So look like a human is more comfortable for there to work. But from maybe from cost effective side, they have more ideas. So actually, there's no one answer about what the future should be. So that's how important the communication platform should have.
I recently saw this video with humanoid robots on skater wheels. So they still have two legs, but they're on wheels. So it's like both two legs, but also wheels. So out of the FairPlus exhibition this year, which part of the floor, like which part of the exhibition has grown the most versus the first year?
You mean FairPlus?
In terms of exhibitors.
Actually, our percentage of companies keep the same. Both edition this year and the last year, our components company take 70%. Of the
so like the actuators
and 20 to 25 is the whole robot, whole machine. And so actually the percentage is same, almost same, and we just grew the members.
I see.
And also actually this year still the international involvement is about speech and visit side. So next year we are expecting more company to exhibit or take a booth here to show their things, maybe from America or from Europe, to have booths there to discuss with more people.
And in terms of, let's say, you mentioned that there's a lot of speakers this year, lots of different sessions. What are the most popular sessions that you saw, like the room is full and crowded with people?
We have survey on that. Actually, the international exchange is the most welcome one. We have a European session. We have a very leading a human robot company like Superstar from Europe, YSPL from Ben, and one is Nora from Germany. So both one is CEO, one is CTO to come here to introduce their product. It's very interesting for the Chinese company because what's the first of what their robot are looking for, where they can use the and why they have their how we can cooperate with them in the production chain because these two are still built up in Germany, so their selling price is really high. So they also come to find out their solution because they know they need to lower the price and to benefit more industry to use.
Yeah. So the session from the Spain and the, is it German?
German, yeah.
German robots. Were the CTO and the CEO sharing about their supply chain? Like what were they talking about that attracted the attention?
They talk more about how their robots, what they think the robot will be used, and also how now also some pinpoint of their company what they can cooperate with China because of course they come to China to find some partner. They are not only fly here with 10 hours flight and come here just have a look. It's not. It's just.
So they're looking for like cheaper components
I think so. They will not say it, but of course they are looking for that.
Nice.
And so it's European session. We also have from Switzerland, Poland to somehow they have different very detailed requests, but in general, they want to cooperate with China. And also we have another popular is Asia session. It's somehow same topic that the company from Japan, Korea, and also another big catalog, very famous is about, we have a conference called Power Robot. It's linked the capital investment institute with the robot companies.
I see.
Because now everyone needs money. Also the robot company, they are all majority of them startups. So they also want to talk with the investment and capital people to see where it can work.
So it's like an investor and startup matchmaking platform.
Yes.
So for someone overseas that came to FairPlus for a day, what do you think that person will understand more after visiting FairPlus, like about the China supply chain and how to work with suppliers in Shenzhen and beyond?
I think majority of them will agree that they have to work with China. It's not a question anymore. Some of them, before they come, they may be consider, okay, it's just a market. But after they come, okay, it's definitely a yes to come to China. The next question is about how to cooperate with China. So different companies have different ideas, but they definitely will back to China again. And also I got a lot, like this space we do is as an extent of FairPlus. I also get a lot of requests on how to come here to deeper to the industry. So we are also working on it.
Yeah, for sure. Can you share 2 or 3 exhibitors that you would say, hey, if you come from overseas, you should pay attention to these ones? And why do you think those are up and coming?
It's really a difficult question because actually that's why we put every booth the same side because we want they have a look at everyone. But actually I want to share 2 companies who maybe if you want, for German company, I always take the example is Schunk. They have their R&D center here. Not this one, it's the one I shared from Europe. And also like a big company, Siemens, they already work with us 2 years and their concept is to, because there are so many humanoid robots and they need somehow a leader for the human robot in the future in the factory. So actually Siemens wants to position themselves in this position. So they work with us and they talk with all the companies about their research ranking. For Siemens, they need to adjust themselves to know all the robot products, how they can be used in the factory. Then they can be the leader or CEO of humanoid robot in the future.
Is the leader also a humanoid or is it like human?
Humanoid.
Oh, okay.
Because human need to control the humanoid robot
and
humanoid need a leader to control the humanoid robot.
Okay.
So Siemens want to be the part and they work with all the companies. So I want to share this is they are very open to every company to talk. And I think they don't have business so far in this sector, but they talk with everyone to understand different ideas. So it's very open to the industry and they can gain cooperation. It's not about which country you come from. It's just cooperation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Yasmin. This is wonderful and very insightful. So thank you so much for taking your time.